America. Tyson, that includes you. Hello, America. Hello, principals of managerial accounting students, who are all very delighted to be here, as usual. Evan, in particular, is showing great enthusiasm for being here this afternoon. And so I was telling Megan that I had an eye appointment yesterday, and I actually didn't have anything changed. Or I need glasses, but I didn't get glasses yet. But you know, after having photographs of the inside of your eye taken a couple of times each eye, apparently that will do something. And so my world has been just a little off. You know, desks sloping and just kind of hasn't been very fun. Hasn't been very fun. But Heidi, why do we study the past? Why do we check out history? We talked about that last class period, did we not? That good, huh?
It's not you.
To help us predict the future, we learn. How's that for a big gesture, right? I mean, it just really can't get much bigger without jumping. How many ways did we learn to use the past to predict the future? Kaylee? How many ways? 3. Can you name the first one, Whitney?
The
scatter plot. Jennifer, can you name the next one? The high-low method. And Mike, can you name the third? Regression analysis. Wouldn't you love it if the exam were full of high-low method questions?
Yes.
I think that's the general consensus of most classes. And so there will most certainly be a few of those. So I'm counting on all of you to kind of knock those out, you know, kind of in a very straightforward manner. There's only one thing that's even semi-tricky about high-low method questions. What is that? Mr. Michael? Only one thing that's even semi-tricky. What do you think's the kind of the semi-tricky part? You choose high and low what? Ooh, see, that's why it's tricky. You just got it wrong. You choose high and low activity. That's right. You choose high and low activity and the associated cost. But you know, I just bet that Matt does not miss that now on the test. So probably wouldn't have missed it anyway. I'm not going to suggest you would have. But there, you had a little bit of question, and now after, you know, unfortunately, a little embarrassment can go a long way with regard to memory, kind of retaining. Do you remember things, kind of moments of embarrassment? Are those memorable? No? She forgets them. You suppress them. They're still potentially memorable. So those are memorable. That's memorable. So Matt, he's not going to mess that up on the exam. Not that he would have anyway. Okay. Davis. You choose the high and low what? High and low activity. That's the only tricky part. And then the corresponding dollar amounts, whatever those are. Draw an arrow across. That's what we did in class. And then the last way, what's way number 3 again, Mr. Montgomery? To predict the future? Regression analysis, and that's what I asked you to do for today. But what I have here in my hand, believe it or not, I found, in my lifetime, I have received this out of a Chinese fortune cookie. The best prophet of the future is the past. And so that was a fortune cookie that I then taped to a bigger piece of paper so I wouldn't lose it. Because that's clearly what we've been talking about. And because it's in a fortune cookie, you know it must be true. Right? So it must be true, and that's exactly what I told you. And so the fortune cookie makes sure we know that it's absolutely true. So which problem did we do? Which problem did we all do? Southern carpets. So yours isn't going to look quite exactly like mine for a reason that'll be obvious here real soon. Let's zoom a little bit. Is it going to zoom? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Here we go. Woohoo! That was exciting. That was exciting. All I did off on the left was I just listed the numbers and printed that off also on the same piece of paper. Can you read that? Kind of, sort of. Unfortunately, there's not much more room for magnification. Does the laser thing work? Laser pointer, laser. Ooh! That's exciting. Wasn't that exciting? Ooh, ooh. Yeah, I've never had one that worked before. Somebody just yawned while I was excited. And Ek does. She's just better able to yawn quietly. Anybody seen one of these before? Something like this before? Anyone? Yes? You have? Stats? 1 or 2? 2? Stats 2? So you can tell me what all these numbers mean? You're a little rusty. Oh, you know what? You can't read it?
No, it's fuzzy.
It's fuzzy to me too, but then your eyes are younger than mine.
Yes, they are.
You can't see a thing.
Go push the focus button.
Push the focus button. You think that's going to do anything? Autofocus? Did that do anything? I got something flashing at me.
There you go.
Woo! Oh, it does do something. It does work. The technology works. I just pressed autofocus and it just blinked at me for a while. And then it made everybody happy. That was kind of a happy sound that you all made. Is that a little better, Whitney?
Yes.
With eyes younger than I? Absolutely. So, Anthony, has anybody else taken, have you taken Stats 2? Over, complete, done, got a grade? Don't have to do it again. Awesome. Anybody else in that predicament?
In progress.
In progress. So you haven't seen this yet?
Probably will see it in about 2 weeks.
See it in about 2 weeks. Anybody else finished? So you should know what all these numbers mean. I mean, Anthony's not the only one. I mean, I can't just ask Anthony.
Yeah, but that was last spring.
That was last spring. That was a while ago. You've slept since then. Anybody else? Just 2 people? Evan? No? Just 2 people have taken Stats 2. How come? How come you 2 guys have, how come they've taken it and nobody else? Because they're really smart? What, you're ahead of the game? So Anthony, which number up there can you tell me what it means? Just pick one. You don't have to, I mean, just pick one. Huh? The number 1 is a regression. The number 1 is oh, it says, you're just reading the label off to the left side. You can't do better than that?
DF's degrees of freedom.
DF stands for degrees of freedom. And are you in Stats 2 now?
Yep.
Awesome. Did you know that? Okay. DF stands for degrees of freedom. What in the world does degrees of freedom mean? I've had 15 hours of statistics at the graduate level, and I'm not sure I could tell you for sure. But that is what it stands for. I do know that.
I think it has something to do with the variance of all the numbers.
Probably.